So, Vegito versus Gogeta just recently came out, and I actually had a lot of fun with this one. Now, obviously, this wasn't the match everyone was looking forward to, but it was pretty fun, yeah. Now, starting off, the opening skit between Wiz and Boomstick was a little bit goofy, but not bad. It's definitely not as bad as some of their other cutaway gags. So yeah, I had some pretty good fun with it. Gogeta's introduction, though, I actually liked a decent bit more than Vegito's, which was a little odd considering they're kind of the same character, but just the way they portrayed it seemed like the cast had more fun talking about Gogeta, and there's obviously nothing wrong with that. It's just that this is a death battle where they're supposed to present both characters in equal lighting, which is something they also did with their last matchup, which was Deku versus Asta. Now, I'm not saying this is bad whatsoever. I'm just saying that, it felt like there was a little bit of a Gogeta bias, but hey, looking at the ending, that's a little bit hard to predict, I guess. Now, when watching this, it definitely did feel like a really close match, which is something I'll give them full credit for. Like, how often do you honestly see a versus debate in Death Battle where it actually feels rather close? Normally they present it as close, but in actuality it's a massive stomp. So, granted, that may be because it's literally Goku and Vegeta versus Goku and Vegeta, so they kind of had to be really close, but it did end up feeling very close, and they obviously didn't give that many stats, if any stats actually, which was honestly kind of nice. Like, I really appreciated the fact that there were no big brain calcs, because at the end of the day, your calc is always going to be different than someone else's. And obviously, I encourage that between competitors, but it's not something that should always be strived for. And especially in a debate like this, since it is the same series spout, why not have them just, compare who they fought against and innate advantages, which sparked a good debate. And while the ending was a little divisive, I would say, I still thoroughly enjoyed myself. And getting into the actual battle, I thought it was really good. Everything looked nice, everything was super flashy and very dynamic. Granted, I do find it a little weird that they had Gogeta Super Saiyan Blue versus Vegito Super Saiyan Blue as like the final matchup. I kind of would have preferred if it was Super Saiyan 4, just because they even kind of called attention to this when they said, oh, there's a little variety. Well, then show that little variety, Now, that's not me saying that, oh, this is bad in any way whatsoever. The fight was honestly amazing. And as someone who has a little bit of time in 3D animation, I can safely say that, god damn, this man. Oh my goodness, they put their heart and soul into this, and whoever animated it is absolutely incredible. And for that, all my credit goes to Labs and the rest of the 3D animation team, because obviously, just watching it, it's pretty rad, to say the least. Now, the fight, obviously, I did bring up a few little nitpicks, but that's not really anything to complain about, really. Like, let's be honest, that's not much of, an issue. Oh, now, granted, looking at this, I really do not want... Oh, okay, that's not true. I wouldn't mind other DBZ matches, but honestly, at this point, I kind of feel like they're just over. Like, until, like, Goku vs. Superman 3 comes out, I really don't see them doing another DBZ match for a while, which is nice, because this was definitely a high note, but DBZ has started getting into the meme category of like franchises that have death battles. Like, for example, look at Marvel versus DC, and just Marvel and DC. Like, those series are crazy to death battle. So much so that I generally do not think a season can go through an entire, like, there's literally no one season that can't have Marvel and DC probably fight each other. And, I feel that Dragon Ball is starting to get like that, but the thing is with Marvel and DC, it kind of gets a little boring, whereas most Dragon Ball matchups are obviously pretty good. Now, some are bad, like Captain Marvel versus what's her name? Android 18. Yeah. Oh, okay. my mind went blanker than the Versus community after this video comes out. So, obviously, it was really good. Had a lot of fun. It's just the matchup. Like, this kind of feels like it should have been we just came back from break rather than, because this is the season finale. Because this definitely does feel like a big episode, but at the same time, this is what is your entire season. Like, this is what your season has been building up to. And I don't know if I like that too much. Now, if I were doing it a little bit differently, I probably would have moved this to maybe be a mid-season. But this definitely benefited from the budget because, the shots in this and the editing and everything, it looked great. It really did look great. And it definitely feels like they brought their A game. It's just, it's not as crazy as a season finale should be, because normally those matchups are like Thanos versus Darkseid, and that kind of level. And granted, while that was disappointing, this filled out all the potential it had, so not really anything wrong with it. But since I used all that time and I didn't even get to the end, now let's talk about the end. Well, the end is pretty good. I think that's, pretty fair to say. The ending was pretty good. But I do find the end was a little bit unsatisfying. Like, for example, they brought up Gogeta's ultimate move, which was like the Stardust Destroy, something like. It was the basically evil obliterating right. Now, they didn't go into how that would not affect Vegito, which is weird considering Gogeta is part of Vegito, and Vegeta's been evil for a long time, and granted, they kind of didn't bring that up. And I know, because people with surface level Dragon Ball knowledge know that Vegeta is evil, So I feel like that should have been something that was completely dissected. And granted, they could have had it in a box. Granted, I did not read the boxes. For the most part, this was due to the fact that when I watch things, I find that pausing in between, they don't really have a good level of, like, if I were to pause it, read the entire box, and then go again, that would kind of kill the pacing. So, not really my cup of tea. Now, all that being said, Season 10 of Death Battle. Because, guess what? This ended on a pretty high note, and the ending itself, including the last little joke, which was a wish between Boomstick and, just a wish of Boomstick to merge him and Whis, which ended in that, double... They talked at the same time, which granted is always a cool effect. That's one of the things that Fusion has always made awesome, is the echo-y kind of effect. I've always been a sucker for that, and here the cast do that obviously in this episode because it's about Fusion. Oh, nice, beautiful. So yeah, I really enjoyed this episode. Actually, it was pretty good, and if I had to give it a score, probably 9 out of 10. Yeah, let's go with 9. Now, what about next season? Okay, I already said that before. I'm kind of disappointed in the matchups. I am really sorry. Man, like I wanted Ghidorah or Spy from TF2 or Simone versus Kyle Rayner. That was the one I was fighting for the most. And I was actually thinking about making a video and putting it out there and going, go vote for this if you have membership. But no, instead we got Bill Cipher versus My Little Pony. And this is I swear, this is like the 4th time My Little Pony has been on Death Battle. And Gurren Lagann still hasn't been on there. I know it's a DC matchup, but we're not picking it. No one is picking Kyle Rayner versus Simone the Digger for Kyle Rayner. No one actually cares. No one cares. No one cares about him. We all want Gurren Lagann. Why? Because Gurren Lagann slaps hard. You guys, if I get enough requests for it, or if I ever get fed up with it, I am going to make a full 40-minute long review on why Gurren Lagann is actually S-tier anime. S+ tier anime. Alright? It hits hard. So obviously, you would want Kyle Rayner versus Simone the Digger because you want Gurren Lagann. But no, that didn't get picked. And I know it, but the problem is we didn't get any good matchups out of it. Like, bro, those were the good choices and people picked the other stuff. And I know people suck, but like, damn, I thought since everyone's been talking about Kyle Rayner versus Simone, I thought it would be a shoo-in, but nope, it's not. And obviously, I can't complain too much because they're probably gonna be good episodes, but shoot, man, like we have been requesting, like as a community, we've been requesting Kyle Rayner the most, and when they put a poll like that, and then Kyle Rayner versus Simone doesn't win, it puts into their head that, oh, we don't need to do this. Even though I still want this, please keep doing it, but we're not going to get it. But you can't win them all, you know? Granted, I do have confidence, especially after this episode, like they handled a same series versus battle really well, so why would I not have confidence in them? So, whatever. And obviously I am disappointed, but, you know, I've said whatever 3 times, and that kind of describes my feeling. Anyway, with all that being said, I hope you guys actually enjoyed this review, because, you know, I really do like Death Battle, and honestly, reviewing other stuff than One Piece has been a great journey for me, and I'm actually really enjoying it. And if you guys like this content too, then, well, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys on the flip side. I'll see you later.